Welcome back to the Colouring Zone. My name's Helena. So today I thought I would share this beautiful book. I believe I have done a flip through of this one. Just noticed that it's a little bit bent. So I thought I would share because I am making really good progress in this book. I think I've only got like 5 or so pages. And yeah, I mean, it's my first it is my first Colorya book. And it is the only one that I actually own. Melissa from Colorya, so they are based in France, this company. They did reach out to me about doing a collab, but unfortunately, due to their stock issues with getting it to the UK, yeah, they've had to cancel that collab, which is a shame. But hopefully in the future, yeah, are more than happy to have contact with them again, and for them to when they do their next sort of book launch of a different book. So this one here I have not done, so this is one of them that I've not got round to. This is, I think it's effectively A4. I could be wrong, and I don't have an A4 bit of paper near me, so I apologise, but I think it is pretty much. So it is quite big. And then obviously you've got like the information. So this is the first one I have done. Now I can see that I've used pencils on this one, and I believe they were Holbein. Various metallic paints. This did take me quite a while, just because I was, you know, obviously filling up this with the paintbrush. But yeah, really enjoyed it. And you can see that I've used the Art Spirits. I think it might be the Rainbow Dust one, and I believe I used Tombows as well. So some sections is just flat colour, and then others are, you know, I've done a bit of shading on it. But yeah, really good fun. I think I also might have used some fine liners on this one as well. So there's the first one. Now this one here I also used Holbeins, because I remember trying to get this to smooth out, and I mean, I think on camera it probably looks okay, but I can see in certain parts where it's not as smooth. I wouldn't say pencils are really the best on this type of paper, I think, because it's got very limited tooth. You do end up sort of like burnishing quite quickly. So yeah, just to bear that in mind. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Mixture of pencils and I think some paint. I'm not sure whether I did use Tombows on this one. I might have done, and maybe a bit of yeah, maybe a little bit of fine liner as well. This one here I absolutely love. So I used I'm pretty sure, so this metallic paint is Rusty Gold. Is it? Oh, is it a gel pen? It might actually be, I think it is. I think it's a gel pen. I think it's the bronze gel pen by Signo. And then I've got my butterfly. So all of the butterfly is pencils. And that is Holbein's, and then I think it's a mixture of different water-based sort of pens in the background, and also some metallic paints. So it's got that sparkle. This one is one that I haven't done, so that's 2 so far, I think. This one here, I wasn't that pleased with it, so I ended up adding some dots to add some interest, because it just looked really boring. I don't think that's because of the illustration, I think that's because of how I've coloured it. But I can see that I have used some, maybe Art Spirit. Do you know what? I think it might have been, yeah, no, it is Art Spirit. I think it's the Shell Pink from her collection, from Rebecca's collection. So yeah, I've added dots with like fine liner and stuff, but I definitely remember using some Gamsol, well, it's Zest It that I've got, the brand, but it's basically like Gamsol for those that are in the States. And then this one here, I used my Neo colours. So, and I used the crayons, the Neo colour ones, and I've also used some pixie powder as well. Though I did get a couple of smudges where I wasn't very careful. And this one here, I believe the black, it's either Archie's Handmade Paints or it could be Honeybee Pigments. I've got a feeling though it's Archie's, which is a seller on Etsy. I do apologise if I've got that wrong. But yeah, so, and this colour here is definitely Ruby. I mean, it's very, very distinct, that colour, and that is from Renaissance Colours on Etsy. There is that one. And then this one here, you can see that I've used pencil. There is some texture to it and some paints, various paints. And now this like sort of pinky colour here, I love this. And that is by Honeybee Pigments, and it is beautiful. Now, this one here is very different to the others because I actually used Distress ink on this one. So I used the Distress ink all over, and then I used various gel pens to go over some of the black lines. I probably could have kept going with it, but I realised that once I had done it here, I was really losing the definition. So I decided not to go over all of the black lines for that reason. Now the next one is an absolute mess. So I used, I mean, look at it. I used these. So they are CSY Art Gallery. And yeah, for some reason on this paper, it just really smudged. I don't know whether I did it too thick, but it's not really, it's strange because it's not really done it on here. It was the dot. So I'm thinking it might have been the way I applied it rather than the paint. I mean, all paints travel to a certain degree, but on this particular page, yeah, I mean, it's very, very noticeable. But I do quite like the colour palette I used for that one. This one here, I think I'm pretty sure I used dual metallic pens. Yeah, dual metallic gel pens on this one. Because I just recognise it. And that's by Pentel. And I think I've used Prismacolors because I'm pretty sure that's lime peel. That's the sort of base. This one here, so some are quite limited sort of colour palettes. So yeah, I've got some sort of Sakura glaze pen on there as well. And I think I've used the Signo Silver, sparkly silver gel pen on these bits. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, because that tends to travel quite a lot as well. And then this part here, that is, I think it's called Diamond, and, or is it Orb? But that's by Renaissance. This is another one that I haven't done yet, so that's number 3. Oh, maybe there's a bit of a there's a bit of a roll, so that's 4. This one, very limited colour palette. I don't tend to spend, you know, like multiple hours on these sorts of ones, on these mandalas. Yeah, so anyway, so yeah, there's that one. I'm pretty sure that's the Art Spirits and it's golden. So what did I say we were on? So I think this is 5. Oh, 6. So it is more than 5. And then this one here is also a very sort of limited sort of colour palette. But yeah, I really, really love this book. And I think I'm going to be a little bit sad when I have actually finished it. But it will be my first colouring book that I've ever finished, other than the Holiday Sprites. This one here, I really can't remember what I used. I think it's dual metallic pen for the blue and the green. I don't think that's paint. Maybe it is. Don't know. So yeah. And this is, I remember, I used the Zig clean brush pens, I think, on that one. And then this one here, I'm sure I've shown this in a completed pages book, completed pages video, should I say. So that one there was really good fun. I did have a bit of a hard time going over the lines where I'd gone over it with my paint, and then I tried to get back over it and it didn't quite work. This one here I absolutely love, so I'm pretty sure I used my Tombow, or do you know what I think it probably was Tombow for that one. So no sparkle or anything on that one. Also, this is 7. This one here, I think I was going to come back to it and add some things. It's just quite, I don't know, I didn't add much sparkle to that one, which is fine. I suppose they don't always need sparkle, but yeah, I do feel, when I look at it, I do feel like it's a little bit unfinished. So maybe at one stage I'll go back to it. This one here I did really recently. I'm just going to do it so it's like this. So I used Ohuhu alcohol markers on this, and I had the greatest time just doing this whilst I was watching television. And I've also used some Sakura Jelly Roll, one of the pink colours. I was having real trouble, I think it was, I wanted to use my teaser ones, and honestly, the pinks were not working. None of my gel pens seemed to be working, which is very frustrating. But yeah, I really like this colour palette, and we got a little bit of sparkle and shine. And then this one I finished the other day. So I think yesterday, so this one is very recent. I used gel pens all on the outsides, but it's 3 different colours of orange, yellow. And I've also used glossy accents for the eye, which I thought was a bit, I don't normally use the glossy accents, and I recently bought the big bottle. I keep losing the small bottle that I do own. It's like the same size as the stickles. And yeah, I keep losing it, so I'm hoping that because I've bought the bigger bottle, I'm not going to lose it as much. So yeah, I used various gel pens, the Jewel Metallic by Pentel, and then I also used a Sparkle Pop and also a Signo, so the orange sort of sparkly gel pen. So a few various gel pens, but no paint on this one. This was really good fun, and it didn't take me very long, maybe like 2-3 hours, something like that. This one here is unfinished. Oh, I forgot to say, I based all of this with Ohuhu markers, alcohol markers. I recently bought the 120 set, and I'm absolutely delighted with them. So this one here, unfortunately, is unfinished. I think I put the pens away and then I've just never come back to it. I do have a habit of having loads and loads of pens out and pencils and loads of various mediums, and then I'm like, oh god, it's getting too much, I've got so many on the go, and then I end up just putting them all away because I've forgotten what I've got them out for. So yeah, I think that was definitely one of these where yeah, I completely forgot what I was doing for this page and which colours I was using. So I think I will finish it. I'm going to have to try and work out what this blue is though, aren't I? Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's a fine liner that I used. Now this one here I completed a few days ago, and I used, so for this part I used the Zig Clean Brush pens, and I bought them from Amazon Japan, and I got a really good deal on them, so I'm absolutely delighted. I will share them in my haul video. So yeah, I did some blends using them just directly on the paper, and then for this part I used Ohuhu markers, and for this part I actually used a Derwent Pro Colour. So I got a couple of these open stock of quite a long time ago. They are a really hard pencil, and I do think they work quite well on this paper. The softer ones, they don't seem to, they just sort of slide off of it because it is so smooth. But yeah, and then I added some dots, but a couple of them have unfortunately come off. I think I might have actually used the white souffle on the dots. Anyway, so there's that one. And then this one, I'm pretty sure I might have actually used Arteza on some of these. The Arteza real brush pens as well. So can't exactly remember what I used, but thoroughly enjoyed all of them really. I'm quite impressed how well I've spaced these. Oh no, I think they were already there, those dots. I've not added them. I was going to say they're really, really neat. And then this is another one. So I think that means that I've got 8 maybe. Yeah, so I am planning to do this one here next, I think. Yeah, I'm going to try and do this really quite bright, this section, and then do it darker as it goes out, because it's like, so it's almost like a flower. But yeah, see how that goes. And then this one here, unfortunately, I've not finished. So I think I was doing this for Halloween. And again, it's one of the things that I probably had colours out for it, and then I've put them away just because I've forgotten what they were out for. And yeah, so all I need to do really is just finish this section, and then maybe just, I don't know, yeah, I need to go over the purple and then make sure that it's all around. But yeah, I suppose I've started that, haven't I? Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But anyway, so there is my flip of my almost completed book. I'm not actually sure how many there are in here, but yeah, so I've been thoroughly enjoying my Colorya book, and I have said to myself I have to finish this before I buy another one, and yeah, I'm very, very tempted. But anyway, so thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you are all well, and that you're enjoying your colouring, and I shall see you in the next one. Happy colouring, everyone. Bye.